Myers,
Alex, please, let us do our work. I don't want to have the sergeant clear this area.
Okay, get out of here. Now leave us alone. One statement for the
What do you think, Kevin? Just for a minute. How is he? He's all right.
I'm going to give it to you straight, Dr. O'Connor. Kevin knows as well as all of us that today is showdown day. If I can't break Lucy Coe, it means I got to risk putting Kevin on the stand. You know what that means?
Yes.
The district attorney is going to put him in the meat grinder.
You have got to make Lucy Coe tell the truth up there, Jake.
Well, she's under oath and she swears she's telling the truth. And the jury believes her.
Well, then how are we going to protect Kevin?
Well, honey, it's all up to Jake now.
I can tell the jury believes every word she says.
All right.
One of the things I have to do on this charge sometimes.
Oh, I know the feeling.
But I have to keep telling myself 3 people have been murdered. I don't want to see this killer set free.
Let's go. You're worried about cross-examination. All right, Miss Coe has nothing to say to anyone. Why is she now interested? All right, now, hold it. Let me tell you. What are you doing here?
This is the daily report you were supposed to give to Sergeant Lewis this afternoon.
Honey, this isn't due till tomorrow. What were you doing at the library? What are you doing here?
Just call it research.
Do what I asked you to do. You're all going to have to...
Excuse me.
Why are you doing this?
What are you talking about?
Miss Coe, I don't want you to be nervous.
Well, thank you, Mr. Madison. Oh, this really scares me.
Oh, why don't you just come over here with me?
Are you putting Lucy Coe under some kind of pressure to help her?
There's no pressure at all. I haven't asked her one word about her testimony yet.
All right, I believe you. You do realize that is the key witness.
Let me ask you something, all right? If Kevin's innocent, are you going to be happy to see him go free?
If he is innocent, yes.
I've been thinking a little bit about your gut instincts. They might just be a little bit out of whack.
Well, they never have been. Ever.
Well, there's always a first. Calm down. Please.
This trial's about to resume. Miss Lucy Coe to the witness stand.
Please,
What's your plea going to be?
Now, Miss Coe, you have stated that you did not see Kevin in the library the morning of March 17th.
I did not.
Miss Coe, would you speak a little louder, please?
I'm sorry.
Miss Coe, isn't it possible that you might not have noticed him even though he was there?
No, the library wasn't very busy that time of the morning.
You know Kevin from other times that he's been in the library, isn't that so?
Yes,
Does he come there often?
yes.
And you've noticed him every time he's been in the library?
Well, he's always polite and friendly. A person notices.
Do you remember any other specific times when he was in the library?
Objection, Your Honor. The question seems immaterial and irrelevant.
What is the defense's purpose in pursuing this line of questioning?
Well, Your Honor, I think it's important to ascertain the reliability of the witness's memory.
Objection overruled. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Miss Coe, can you remember any other specific time other than March 17th when you saw Kevin in the library?
Miss Coe, please answer the question for the court reporter. Nodding won't do.
March 12th.
March 12th.
Yes, that was the last time I saw Kevin in the library.
Now, how can you be so sure of that date, March 12th?
Well, I had a dentist appointment the next day because I had this really terrible toothache. It was all I could do to stay on the job, and it made me kind of irritable, and, well, I'm usually not. But Kevin and this girl were whispering and laughing.
No more questions, Your Honor.
I would like to redirect, Your Honor.
Proceed. Well, what girl?
Well, I don't know, just some girl, maybe a student, I'm not sure, but I had to go over there and tell them to be quiet.
Miss Coe, you have testified that on March 12th, Kevin O'Connor was in the library with a young woman.
Yes, sir.
Would you describe for us, please, this young woman?
There was no young woman. There was no girl. Why are you lying? Kevin, sit down.
Order in the courtroom.
Please sit down, Kevin.
Mr. Myers.
Kevin, sit down.
Mr. Myers.
Yes, Your Honor.
If the accused makes another display like that, I will have him removed from the courtroom.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed with the redirect, Mr. Madison.
Thank you, Your Honor. Miss Coe, do you remember my last question?
Yes, you asked me to describe the girl that was with Kevin. She was young and kind of flashy, and she had on a headband.
Now, on the morning of the 12th, was the accused there to meet this girl?
Objection, Your Honor. Asking the witness for an opinion, if indeed there was a girl there.
Your Honor, I hadn't quite finished my question, although I do understand the defense objection.
Well, what is the question, Mr. Madison?
I will reframe it. Miss Cole, you said that Kevin and this girl were in the library laughing and talking. Now, do you remember if Kevin O'Connor had a book with him from the library at the time?
Yeah, he had taken out a book.
Do you happen to remember what book it was?
Well, it's funny that you asked that, because I do remember, and the reason I remember...
First, do you remember the book?
Yes, it was a forensic reference book on the patterns of criminal behavior.
Ah. And now you may tell us why you remember so clearly.
Well, like I said before, I had this terrible toothache, and so I was really irritable, and I was going over to tell Kevin to be quiet, and when I got there, I noticed he'd turned down a corner of the page of the book, and that made me more angry, and so I asked him to stop defacing public property, and well, I felt so terrible, so I normally wouldn't be that angry. I wouldn't dare do that.
Now, Miss Coe, I want to ask you one more question, and I know that your answer will be of interest to the defense as well.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. Stick to your own line of reasoning, Mr. Madison.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Coe, how is it that you can be so sure that Kevin O'Connor was not in the library in the morning of March 17th?
Well, I never want to hurt anybody.
Your answer, please.
Well, I went back and I rechecked my personal library files, and I found that Kevin had asked to reserve a reference book on March 17th, and he never showed up to pick up the book.
Thank you, Miss Coe. No further questions, Your Honor. The prosecution rests its case.
Mr. Meyer?
No further questions, Your Honor.
We're going to have to put you on the stand, Kevin.
Witness may step down. Court is recessed for 15 minutes.
All right.
For God's sake, take care of her.
We will. I'll take her
Kevin, I want you to keep in mind that you're under oath. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Will you swear that you were at the medical library at the university on the morning of March 17th?
I was there, and I swear it.
What time were you there?
I was there between 8 a.m. and 8:45 a.m.
And why is it you're so sure of the time?
Because I know I had to be at the hospital at 9 a.m., so when I went into the library, I had kept track of the time so that I wouldn't be late.
You remember being there on March 12th?
Yes, I was there, but not with any such girl as Miss Coe described.
Did you take out a book on forensics?
I took out a book, but not on that subject. I was doing a paper on the structure of the inner ear that day.
So Miss Coe was mistaken about the book you had.
Yes, she was.
It was not about criminal behavior.
No.
Was there a girl there, Kevin?
No, that was not.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Madison?
Thank you, Your Honor. Why didn't you pick up the book you had reserved on March 17th?
Well, I only had 45 minutes, and I had to write up the notes I'd taken from class. I was in kind of a hurry, so I forgot the book. I was there, though.
Don't you find it odd that Miss Cole remembers you so clearly at other times you were in the library, such as on March 12th?
What I find odd is what she remembers about me. I was not there with any girl, and I certainly wasn't reading any book on criminal psychology or whatever.
You accused her of being a liar before you came to the stand. Do you really think she's lying, Mr. O'Connor?
Your Honor, sir,
Yes?
I'm confused about a lot of this. But I would like to apologize for the outburst that I had, and I'd also like to apologize to Mrs. Coe.
To Miss Coe as well?
Yes, which I'm ashamed of calling her a liar. Now, I know she seems like a nice, sweet girl who would never lie, and I can't believe she would lie about anything like that. But I'm confused. So she must be confused, too. And that's the only way I can understand this. But I swear to you, Your Honor, I was in that library on the morning of March 17th. You have to believe it.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Court is adjourned for the day.
All right.
Give him a moment, will you?
Come on.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll take care of it.
Terry, Terry, now's not the time, Terry. Come on, we've got work to do.
honey.
Come on, Terry. We'll take care of it. Come on, let's go. We've got some work to do. Come on, Bobby. Please, no questions now. How's it look, Mr. O'Connor? You've got to get one of those girls out of Lucy Coe's apartment. Bobby? Bobby, you're coming with me tonight. We're going to the medical reference room of the library. We're going to look up every damn medical book if we have to with the head librarian.
To back up Kevin's testimony?
Yes, and we're going to do it if it takes all night. Patrick. Yes, Jake. Take care of Terry, will you? Keep her calm. Get her over to Kelly's. We'll be there as soon as we're finished. Come on, Bobby. Leave her to Patrick. Come on. I've never seen